First off, if you're building muscle, don't intermittent fast every day. Okay, intermittent fasting needs to be this like catalyst. It needs to be what is keeping you lean while you are putting on muscle. It needs to also be something that is used as a catalyst to keep you ultra insulin sensitive. Because make no mistake, if you're trying to build muscle, you need to be in a caloric surplus. But I think people have a tendency to look at caloric surplus and give it a freeze frame of being like a caloric surplus over 24 hours versus, okay, well, what about a caloric surplus over a 12-hour period or a caloric surplus over a 1-week period? You know, we still have to look at physics and thermodynamics, and it doesn't just automatically have to be a 24-hour window. The clock doesn't reset at 0 at midnight. After today's video, I popped a link down below for LMNT, Element Electrolytes. Whether you are someone that is fasting, doing low carb, whether you're vegan, whether you're just trying to control your blood sugar, electrolytes are important. And the thing that I like about Element is they taste unbelievable, but we're talking about something that doesn't have any sugar in it. So we're talking sodium, potassium, magnesium. Amazing flavors. I like the citrus salt flavor, I like the mango chili, and when I want something different, I like their chocolate salt that I can actually put in warm water and drink like a hot chocolate. So the link down below gets you a free variety pack. So you get a free sample pack of all the different flavors with any purchase. So that link down below is drinklmnt.com/Thomas. It's directly below this video in the top line of the description. Check them out. So that's kind of like my approach is you don't want to be fasting every single day, but then you still need to be able to leverage the insulin sensitivity that comes from a fast. So when you're fasting, you aren't eating, obviously. So what's happening is your cells are becoming much more sensitive to available glucose when it does come into play. Now, once you break a fast, sure, you have your protein, which we can get into specifics about, or I have other videos that break that down in more detail. But once you've broken your fast, then you still have X number of hours left of eating. And how you eat during that period is going to be a huge determining factor of how much muscle you put on, because you absolutely still need to get the calories in during that period. So with that, explain kind of your philosophy. What's your approach there?
There's a whole range. It exists on a continuum. The bigger the athlete with the larger workload, the more calories they're going to have to consume. Calories are king in terms of being able to gain or lose weight.
Yeah.
You got to be in a surplus or a deficit. There's just no way around it. Now, if you only need to consume 3,000 calories a day or 2,700 in order to maintain a surplus, you can easily do that in an intermittent fasting window.
Yeah.
Whether it be a 16/8 or what have you. It's, again, like you said, it's the 24-hour total, or maybe even better describe the weekly calorie surplus. That's pretty easy to achieve. As the athletes get bigger and bigger, it becomes harder and harder to fit that many calories, just physically speaking.
Yeah.
Just the mechanical process of consuming that much food in such a short period of time. That's when it gets a little more challenging, but now we're talking about a really small percentage of people. For the vast majority of people that want to gain muscle and fast, certainly is going to be mostly based on their ability to maintain a calorie surplus over the course of the day, so they could do their 16/8. And then secondly, protein. And we used to think that you had to get 6 evenly spaced meals a day to, to have that muscle protein synthesis. And you come to find out that whether it's 2 or 6, it doesn't matter. If you equate for calories and protein intake, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I like to time those around the workout to take advantage of the window, the anabolic window, which we've discovered is longer than we used to think.
Exactly. Yeah.
We used to think as soon as you got done training, you had to race over and pound a shake. And I used to do that when I was training the University of Oregon football players. I used to bring their drinks to the gym. I still do it now with John Jones. I'm training down in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I bring his protein shake to the gym, just because I can control that one feeding. I don't know what happens when people leave the gym. And so that was the one thing that I could, be able to be in control of. Are you getting sufficient protein? But we know that window is pretty broad. We know it's probably 5 hours for that important stimulus for that workout, a particular workout. And so that could happen with a meal maybe 2 hours before you train, and then within 2 hours after you train.
Yeah.
That could be the entire amount of calories that you consume for the day, or the feedings, 2 feedings, which I like to bookend them around the workout for a couple of reasons. And again, now we're talking about a small percentage of the population where performance is critical.
Yeah.
Meaning, can they get one more rep? Can they do one more set? Can they lift 5 more pounds? And that might happen better in a fed state for an athlete than in an unfed state. So I do like to feed them a couple hours before training, maybe 2 to 3 hours before training, depending on the intensity of the workout, and then within an hour thereafter.
Yeah.
And if they can satisfy their caloric demand and get sufficient protein, which we seem to think is generally around 1 gram of protein per pound of lean weight or goal weight. Most of my athletes I really shoot for, because they're already pretty lean, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight.
So that's not extreme.
It's not extreme, and there's no more than that's necessary.
Yeah.
And that can be easily accomplished in 2 feedings and stay within your 16-8 window or whatever you choose. And then, like you say, on the day off training, you could just do a 1 feeding.